Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm reacting to my third Creepy Diaries video for you guys, and this was titled Haunted Highway Rest Stop Horror Story. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road in the bag, shall we? Okay, here we go.
For as long as I can remember, I have driven trucks, crisscrossing highways between states with only the sound of my engine and the vast expanse of road as company.
Okay.
Every night is the same. Drive until fatigue sets in, locate a rest area, and sleep for a few hours before driving again.
Yep, because if you don't, the highway patrol officers will probably pull you over for driving way too long than you're supposed to be. And there's no way you can make it from point A to point B without stopping in between. But anyway, let's continue on with this guy's story.
But everything changed that fateful night, the night I happened upon the haunted highway rest station. By now it was well after midnight, and I was bone-deep exhausted. I was relieved to see the neon sign for a rest stop up ahead, since I knew I couldn't push myself much more. The parking area was empty save for a few other trucks, whose drivers were probably looking for a break much like me. I parked my truck in a shadowy corner, off the engine, and sank back in my seat, prepared to nod off and go to sleep. There was an unearthly calm to the air outside that made your skin tingle. I made an effort to ignore the sensation, blaming it on my fatigued mind tricking me. However, as I started to nod off, murmurs started to reverberate through the shadows. The murmurs became louder and more forceful, as if they were calling for me to pay attention. But at first, I dismissed them as a fabrication of my mind.
Yeah, I'll be too, because if you're not sleeping enough and you're about to doze off, then it might be some hallucinations that you might be having while in your sleeping state. I'll try to pass it off and try to go to sleep. But if it keeps on going, I don't know what it would be.
With my heart racing in my chest, I sat up. An unsettling light filled the rest area, creating lengthy shadows that swayed ominously over the pavement. I looked out the windshield, trying to see whether there was anything moving in the shadows. That's when I spotted her, a shadowy figure with a ragged garment fluttering in an invisible wind. The figure approached, her face obscured by the darkness, and fear bit me in the throat. In an attempt to go as quickly as possible, I tried to start the engine, but my truck would not go silent. I felt panic surge up inside of me like a tsunami, ready to swallow me whole. Then she started talking. Her words were laced with hate, her voice a sweet whisper. She said, "You shouldn't have stopped here," and I felt shivers run down my spine. This place belongs to the lost souls of the highway, trapped forever in limbo. I attempted to summon the bravery to respond, to insist on clarifications from this spectral presence, but my voice let me down. She moved in closer, the smell of decay rising from her cold breath as it brushed across my skin. I prayed for this nightmare to cease as I closed my eyes, but when I opened them again, she was gone. The rest area was completely black once more, with the sound of a lone coyote's distant scream being the only sound. I was shaking as I sat there, not sure if what I had just seen was genuine or simply a figment of my hyperactive imagination.
Yeah, it's almost like a toss-up, 50-50, because if you having some things happen around you because of lack of sleep, that's probably it. But then if it's classified as a haunted rest stop, then yeah, it might be a real ghost talking to you. Oh man, that'd be creepy. But this guy needs to try to get some sleep. If not, get up, start the truck, and move to another rest stop quick before the spectral ghost lady comes back.
I tested the engine again with shaky hands, and this time it roared to life, as if anxious to get away from the horrors that place held. I didn't take long to move beyond the rest area, since every mile that separated us soothed my jangled nerves. But I felt a shiver go down my spine as I glanced back in my rearview mirror. The ghostly apparition stood in the glow of the rest stop's wavering lights, her eyes staring at me with a desire that made my heart race. I drove into the night, the picture of the ghostly figure ingrained in my consciousness like a brand, plagued by the recollection of that encounter. I didn't dare to let out a breath of relief until the first rays of dawn appeared on the horizon, knowing that I had left the Erie Highway rest station far behind me. But my blood ran cold when I took one last look at myself in the rearview mirror. The spectral figure was standing on the side of the road, just out of the line of the rising sun, her hand outstretched, calling me back to the dark. With my foot firmly planted on the gas, I drove off, the memory of that evening ingrained in my soul forever. The rest stop on the haunted highway will always represent a sinister chapter in my trucker's story. It was a site where wandering spirits loitered, biding their time until gullible visitors happened onto their sinister domain. The ghostly figure's comments, "This place belongs to the lost souls of the highway, trapped forever in limbo," continued to haunt me as I drove into the dawn of a new day.
Well, thank God that his truck started up and he was able to get out of there. But it would be creepy if you just keep on going down the road and looking in your rearview mirror and seeing that ghost in the lights of the rest stop and then moving onto the side of the highway trying to act like tell you to come back. Nope, I'm doing the same thing he would be doing. Push the pedal to the metal, get out. Man, that's creepy. Think that there's places like that where all the lost souls just gather and not move on. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more Creepy Diaries content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I say that's a wrap and have a nice day, y'all.